DJ Feature from Feature Pres LLC. In today's video, I want to show you guys how to create the infinite black background, similar to what you might see in the Powerbook series. Now, I'm a big fan of that series, but if you ever watch the introduction, it's very epic and powerful. But I wanted to see if I could achieve the same results or similar results, because I don't feel like resource-wise it was that intense, but it does take a lot of creativity in your editing software and just how you film it. And so I was using a black backdrop. Now, I didn't even use my backdrop stand. I just basically mounted my backdrop over a microphone stand. I just boomed the arm and just draped it over that, just enough to cover the frame, because I knew that my subjects would be right in front of that. Now, the key to creating, or step one to creating this infinite black background, is to have a light above your subject, but you want to have that light at a distance from the background, because you want to allow some separation, between the light or between the subject and the background. So that's step one. Now, the light that I used was this simple Quasar Science Q10 light, a very handy light. It is battery powered, not a huge light source, but it was perfect just to get the job done in this case. So I basically boomed this light on a C-stand right over my subjects, several of them in this video. And I was very careful to angle this light so that it was not reflecting too much or as little as possible onto the background, because I knew that in post I can correct certain shadows and stuff like that, or certain things that were spilling onto the background. So that was the first thing I did. Now, the second light that I used was my Godox SL 60 watt light, and I attached a barn door to it. And so I used this light to fill in, because I had this light mounted above, that was basically illuminated like the backside of the subject, as well as just giving it that separation. And so I used the Godox SL 60 watt just to fill in a lot of those shadows, just to be able to identify what that subject was, because it was a cinematic technique that I was trying to use. I kind of wanted it to be not too light, moody vibe. And so I was able to achieve that. The other thing that I used was a rotating display stand that my wife had got me recently, and it's an awesome stand. It has a mirror as the base, and so that was good as well, because now when this light was boomed from above, some of the light is also hitting the mirror and reflecting up, thereby also giving the subject some fill. And so that's pretty much all I did in that situation. And then everything else was just creative. Now, if you guys have been following the channel, you'll see that lately I've been just using things around my own home to try to make product videos and things like that, and just get better in sharpening up my lighting techniques, my filming techniques and things like that. But getting back to the intro of Power, a lot of things that was in that intro I did have laying around, which was a little odd, but they do have this in that intro, and I'm not really sure what this is. We had used this for Halloween years ago. I'll have to ask my wife what the actual name for it is. I'm not sure if it's a liquor bottle or whatever like that, but I was able to use that. Other things that they used in the video was money. I did have a couple of dollars, not much, laying around, but just enough to get the job done. They also used pills in that intro. Now, I did have some pills laying around. Now, I'm not a pill junkie, but I had some pills from like 2019 that just sat there. They were expired, but they did come in handy in this situation. And then I just used some other things like a clock that I had sitting around, but it was nice and shiny, and I just felt that it really fit in with the overall theme. And then as far as my version, I just hooked up with a couple of buddies of mine, IMAHJ Beatz. I'll leave his info below. My other buddy, Galloway, very talented rapper. I included them in this project, which was a short one. But my version, as I said, was just very short. But I feel like it definitely replicated the actual Power intro. And that's pretty much all it was. And everything else was just in editing. Now, if you watch that intro as well, in editing, they used a lot of the mirror effect. Pretty much the whole intro is using the mirror effect. Now, I didn't use the mirror effect in all of the clips, but I did blend everything together, and I think it really came out nice. So I want you guys to check it out. Let me know what you think. Also, we can create a challenge and see how you guys can achieve that infinite black background. Now, you don't necessarily have to try and replicate the Powerbook intro, but let's see if you can come up with a nice intro using that infinite background technique. We'll love to see what you have. So that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Staying stuck in time, not us. When the stars line up and the chemistry's right.